A century ago, World War I raged in Europe. Historians say the war made the U.S. a global superpower. General John J. Pershing, a man with strong Nebraska ties, commanded the U.S. troops that helped to end the bloody fighting.
Over there,
November 11th, 1918, America and the world celebrated an end to World War I.
3,000 miles from home, an American army is fighting for you.
4 years of fighting claimed millions of lives before U.S. troops, led by General John J. Pershing, arrived in France.
just like Washington crossed the Delaware, so will Pershing cross the Rhine.
They were called the American Expeditionary Forces and joined the French and British to turn the battle tide against the German military. In 18 months, General Pershing helped to transform 220,000 U.S. troops into a fighting force of 4 million.
He should be thought of as a quintessential American man. Right place, right time.
General Pershing became the only acting six-star general in U.S. history. Today, though, his name is recognized by few people, even in Nebraska, where an important part of Pershing's life unfolded. In 1891, the 31-year-old Pershing thought seriously about leaving the Army after 4 years in the 6th Cavalry. He had commanded frontier outposts in the Indian War, and there seemed to be few promotional opportunities left for First Lieutenant Pershing.
So after times, chasing Native Americans in Arizona and other places, he does get a chance to take a break.
Pershing's break was a transfer to the University of Nebraska.
Here in Lincoln, he has a sense of having arrived.
Pershing taught military science at the University of Nebraska and began work on a law degree. Most importantly, Pershing took charge of the school's failing military training program and its 100 cadets.
Underrated, secondhand, nobody gave two hoots about the program.
Under Pershing's command, McNeese says things quickly changed. Pershing instilled something in his cadets that they hadn't had before. It was discipline.
Better button up that coat. You better why are your shoes not polished? And all these farm boys are kind of, wait, who's this guy and why, what?
Within a year, 350 students joined Pershing's UNL Cadet Corps. And by 1892, Pershing's cadets were ready to be tested in a national military drill competition. UNL's elite cadet squad competed in Omaha against veteran teams from across the country. When it was announced that Pershing's UNL cadets had won their division, hundreds of UNL students and faculty climbed over the fence and charged the parade field to celebrate. And they were led by UNL Chancellor James Canfield.
Well, even the chancellor of the university, Chancellor Canfield, who is not a small man, is climbing over this 8-foot-tall fence.
In 1895, Pershing's time at UNL came to an end. In honor of their recently departed lieutenant, UNL's elite drill team renamed itself Pershing's Rifles. Today, units like them across the country are known as the National Society of Pershing Rifles. In the decades that followed, Pershing commanded U.S. troops in the Spanish-American War. In the Philippines, he was promoted to the rank of one-star general. Now married with a wife and 4 children, Pershing's life seemed complete until tragedy struck in 1915. Pershing's wife, Frankie, and their 3 young daughters died in a San Francisco fire. The fire's only survivor was Pershing's 5-year-old son, Warren. Pershing privately poured his crushing sorrow into the command of 10,000 U.S. troops sent to hunt Mexican Revolutionary General Francisco Pancho Villa. Pershing's son Warren, now the most important person in the general's life, lived in Lincoln, Nebraska with Pershing's 2 sisters.
October 31, 1916. My dear little boy.
Recently, Pershing's granddaughter-in-law read a 1916 letter the general wrote from Mexico to his son in Lincoln.
This small red flag with 1 white star in the center is the flag that has been in front of your papa's tent for several months. As I now must have 2 stars in my flag, I am sending you this one to keep as a souvenir. With it goes all the love of my soul. May God keep you and help you to be a good and great man.
A year later, Pershing would command American troops in World War I.
Only the hardest blows can win against the enemy we are fighting.
America's sacrifices in the Great War were enormous. More than 323,000 U.S. troops died, were wounded, or went missing. America's victory, though, gave the U.S. global recognition as a leader of the free world and a superpower with a modern military. A turning point in John Pershing's long journey that once led through Nebraska.
But if you look at the army that Pershing left behind, it has been turned into a modern force with a large standing army. Pershing wasn't the only architect of that, but he was the most important person to execute that transformation.